Hey, welcome back, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check your board. P-Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. What I do for you. I got something nice for you today. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinker's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your mission is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? So let's get there together. And I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. And it's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know, dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I'm about to wrap this lesson up, but this is the good part right here. Right thinkers, let's talk about right thinkers prove God exists. Believers will try to disprove God exists, but guess what? God himself proves that he exists. Let's talk about it. In modern times, a philosophy called agnosticism emerged. Now, agnosticism is a theory. Again, we all got them, and he's entitled of religious misunderstanding associated with English rationalist by the name of Thomas Huxley. I heard that name before. From 1825 to 1895. Now, he held the concept that it is impossible to either, what's this, demonstrate or to refute God's existence. In this day and age, well, back then, yeah, they should have had understanding. But in this day and age, you still try to disprove God exists, you just a fool. Moving on, I ain't wasting my time with you. But he tried to refute that God exists. Okay, God's existence. And what his basis on is what? The basis of available evidence. Look around. I tell him, take a deep breath. How long you can hold? You got exhale. Okay, that's God. Moving on. This idea seems to discount the practice of what he called rational introspection. That's an individual going into his own mind and coming up with his own views and concepts. Don't work for nobody but themselves. And the inquiry of what? The nature of matter. We got quantum physics. Hello, science. To prove or disprove what you think you're talking about. And watch this. And the mystical experience of yoga. We know that it's all mental. A philosophy can be practiced, emulated, but what the results is all going to be here. So, yoga as a real valuable method for what? For discovering God within oneself. Never mind that's nature. Cool. God is like, my man said, KRS, he said, gun. That's all you need. God, universe, and nature. Nature, what God produces. So you got to have understanding of nature. But watch this. Now, this is a major problem. About to get good. Pay attention. For rational thinkers, who y'all think, because you think rational. Watch this. They cannot look forward or look beyond what? Their logic and their rationality in order to really discover what? The transcendental nature of creation. So, they stay stuck on stupid, so to speak. No, they stay within the confines of their own minds and claim that they can be that there can be no proof or disproof of God. God is undisputable, meaning you can only experience Him to know Him. I can't describe God because I can only use words, and some of them don't get it done. Some of them, but once you experience, you'll understand. Whatever word I use, you'll fully understand that. Why? That's what God is. It's an experience, a mystical experience that you got to have here, up here. Moving on, it's all mental. And whatever, okay, my philosophy, right thing philosophy, as long as it falls in the confines of what you believe and what you think is cool, oh yeah, yeah. But the first time it goes against what you believe, oh man, that's something. See, that's selective. Okay, that's all. I understand it. I see it all the time. Okay, but God have to be experienced. Me and my pastor, my other spiritual people, we share God's blessing that we receive from our own understanding, our own perspective. And ain't nobody wrong. You can believe in God, you cannot believe in God, and both of y'all right. Simple. Okay. Logic, again, is like a double-edged sword. What you mean? Like philosophy. If philosophy can show the falsehood in religion, I said Christian, creation, but it can point out the falsehoods in creation. It can also show what? The existence of creation. You ain't got to do that. It takes care of itself. You can't disprove that we need air to breathe. We can prove it. Why? That's what we're breathing right now. So now disprove that. Moving on. This is why just the scriptures hold that scriptures. This is why the scriptures hold that what? Scriptures of wisdom, teachings, and logic are only roadmaps. What I'm giving you is just a roadmap to get you. You got to put the work in. You got to get there on your own. I'm just helping you along the way. That's what teachers do. That's what I do for you. Again, give you the roadmap, lead you on your way, try to point you in the right direction. You got to put the work in. Now, the roadmaps, they're only roadmaps, excuse me. What? To the truth. Nobody knows the truth. No, ignorant people never know the truth. Okay? If you think like that, you'll never know the truth either. Truth is thyself, God. Find that, you find the truth. I did. So I'm trying to tell you how to do the same thing. Watch this. Now, roadmaps to the truth, which is knowledge of self, which is transcendental, past time and space. Not here, up here, and elsewhere. This is why, you ready? Here we go. We have to get to the good part. I got it underlined so I know something good coming. And this is why the deeper essence, the true essence of spiritual teachings is what? Is not discovered by most people because of the work that you got to put in to make it happen for you. Some people like that road. It's arduous, it's hard, and it's lonely. Why? Nobody wants that one. Easy road. Yeah, take that one. Be religious. Just tell something. Let's believe what somebody tell you, and you got to do nothing but just believe. I'm giving you examples. I'm giving you proven stuff that you can practice and emulate for yourself to know for yourself, thyself. And watch this. Now, they may be able, there's a bunch of people, these are the ones I don't particularly care for. There may be a bunch of people able to quote many scriptures from the Bible and even carry out elaborate rituals on Sundays, ceremonies, all that's good, and so on and so forth. But here is the problem right here. They do not practice what they teach and allow themselves to be what? Transformed. If you don't put in practice what you're learning, if you don't put my philosophy to use, it has no purpose, no rhyme or reason. Why? If you're not implementing it, it won't work. That's why. Okay? And you'll never experience being transformed by them. My goal is to transform you from being ignorant to having knowledge of self. That's it. No, that's it. Once you get that, you're on your own. You don't no longer need me. You know yourself. You know God. You're good to go. That's my job, just to get you to God. That's all for yourself. And for instance, let me give you a quick breakdown. The spiritual teachings that I get, right there in philosophy, of all the what? Out of all the major religions, and they all are against what? They got commandments. Watch this. Thou shalt not kill. Okay? Against killing. But don't people in those religions still kill every day? Mm-hmm. Hypocrites. And those people kill animals, plants, insects, the earth, themselves. Hello? Suicide. By what? By death. My Saudi guru, my teacher says it's called death by installments. Okay? You smoke, you eat the wrong meats, you use drugs, etc. See what it, all those are detriments. All those will get you closer to death. Some people do it every day. It won't be for long. Don't worry. Move it on. And this is only what? Superficial practice of any religion. If you're Muslim, and the Muslim tenets say you can't eat pork, but you just for some reason can't not stop eating pork, you gotta make a decision. You can't follow this religion in earnest, or just don't practice it. Find another religion that will allow you to eat pork and still be your best self. They got some of them too. Every religion don't say you can't eat pork. But those are dietary concepts that the religion practice. If you're going to practice, that's what you should be doing. And if you're not, don't get mad at me for pointing out that y'all full of crap. I sold more drugs with Muslims than the law allowed. Sold more drugs to the Christians than I can shake a stick at. Dealt with more Christian drug dealers than I can never remember. So it don't make a difference about your damn religion. It's how you living. That's where my philosophy lies. Practice what you teach, and that's what I do. Moving on. And I do that so I can tell y'all who don't do it. I can tell you to your face. Moving on. And all these things, superficial religion practice. Yeah. Now, this is my part right here. Through various arguments and similes, mystical, right, thing of philosophy shows that the phenomenal world is in reality just an expression of the underlying divine essence. You're here to have experience as spiritual beings in the human experience, so you can what? Know your spirituality, your essence of who you really are, thyself. And in modern physics, y'all call this essence energy. We call it spirit, okay? But it's unchanging. It don't die. So that part we agree on. Why is this the essence? While mystical philosophy, what they call it, again, we call it conscious, all-knowing, absolute. Knowing something before it happens. If you're the orchestrator, you already know what's going to happen, the outcome. That's who God represents and what he represents. Philosophically, again, believe. Y'all think God's a whole bunch of other stuff. Man, I'm a jealous God. Have no other. Man, look, God. Moving on, I ain't got time for that. I see the clock. I got to beat the clock. I got 2 more things coming up. So therefore, what they call energy, we call consciousness, philosophically. So therefore, those who refute the mysteries without understanding or undergoing that transformation that happens from that, and from a conditioned state of mind, will continue to be stuck on stupid and remain oblivious to that which lies beyond what? The physical world and time and space causation, which ordinary human beings' consciousness is aware of exclusively. If I do this, I'll get that. That's the deal maker. That's the devil's domain. And that's where we live right now. Everybody wants something in return. I tell you, practice a philosophy of what? Selfless service. That's spirituality. Doing something without wanting something in return from the person you're doing it for. Jesus. Sorry about that. All right, let me wrap this up. I say, I'm good. Oh, I got the whole, we going to make it. How about that? Now, the strong influence of the Assyrian mystery was so strong because it worked, was felt in later cults, watch this, who mimic it, and your mystery religions in the Near East practice it, and we went under various names. Why? They had to go underground with their philosophy. Why? Again, you know how it go. Power that be, if it ain't what the power that be say, it ain't going to be. So they had a few different names. I got one right there. This guy, Hippolytus. He quotes a Nicene source in the following. His quote says, "Hail, Attis, Now, Attis was the god from that group, okay, who suffered the same thing as our gods. And we're going to watch this. Hail Attis, gloomy mutilation of Rhea. Assyrians style three or thrice long for Adonis, and the whole of Egypt calls thee Asar. Okay, everybody had one. The Samothracians, whoever they were vulnerable, but they had Adam. Another group of people, the Helmanians, Corabes, and the Phagrians, named what? At one time Papa, Pappa. Now at another time he became God. Transformation names, okay. Or they represented him by what? A green ear of corn that has been what? Reaped. Harvest, reap what you sow. Everybody had a philosophical or symbolical concept that they followed. What's this? Now Attis, who the hell is he? I'm about to tell you. Attis was a mystery religion imported where? Into Rome. When was this? 204 BCE. Because they wasn't riding with the Roman Catholic concept. They had to split off and do their own thing. The Gnostics did it. They had a few other groups who did it. This is one of them. Watch this. Now their philosophy, the goddess Sybil, she begot Attis. Know how she got pregnant? By eating. Either one story says she ate the almond of the almond tree. The other one says she ate a pomegranate, a.k.a. the apple. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Now this was in 200 BCE, before common Christian era, but this is right in that era. So y'all stole some concepts from different places and put them all together. Moving on. But thus, what happened? She conceived Attis as a virgin birth. Sound familiar? As who? I said. But remember, our story is mythological. She never existed. It wasn't physical. Why do we keep trying to cross over what they say is? We know that ours is best. But y'all trying to ride our piggyback to prove your legitimacy. It never literally happened. It's a story for the purpose of what? Education, enlightening, inspire, and motivating you to be your best self through a philosophy that you can practice, not misinterpret and misunderstand, and give it to the world as if it's right and it's wrong. It's been wrong for 2,000 years. It's going to be wrong 2,000 years from now. It's going to still be wrong. Sorry. But the concept of virgin birth came from Isaiah. We told the story. And watch this. She conceived Haru. And Mary also, here we go, who would conceive Jesus. Attis, also like them too, birthday is also on, December 25th. Mine is the 24th. I missed it by that much. You're a horseshoe player. But the 25th. And watch this. His passion was celebrated on March 25th. Sound familiar? Passover, Easter, ain't it? Moving on. But they call those pagan holidays. Why are you celebrating a pagan holiday? If it was pagan when they celebrated, how has it got to be part of your rituals? Moving on. In the March 25th, exactly what? You ready for this? 9 months prior to what? The birthday on the what? Winter solstice. We know that, like Jesus' birth. It wasn't literal. It was metaphorical, and we just went past it. Was 21st. It happened the 25th. The sun started going back. It's on its way back now. Guess what, y'all? Jesus is coming back. Moving on. Attis was what? Sacrificial victim who was slain and eaten in order to what? Save humankind. This is my blood. You who drink of my blood, this is my body. Sound familiar? Moving on. And he was what? Eaten in the form of bread by his who? Worshippers. If that ain't cannibalism. And he then what? You ready for this? After being eaten by his worshippers, blood drinking, body eating bread, and he then resurrected. as what? The high God. Y'all might want to buy some bridges I got for you if you ride that story. And watch this. The date of Attis' death and resurrection. Do you know what that death means? Again, when the physical body dies, the spirit has to what? Hang around until it what? Find the host body where? At birth, which happens what? 9 months later. So that 9 months stay, you're in that era of what? Astral, where you're just hanging around and waiting. And if you went down in a good mind, you was heaven. If you went down all ignorant and messed up, you catching hell. So you want to try it again. Why? Because you catching hell in this one. You don't want to stay here. And another punishment that God, when God punished you, it was for eternity. The earth and heaven was in a sexual and blood embrace. They forbid God's rule. Now forever, she'll be up there, he'll be down here. They'll look upon each other for the rest of their lives, but they'll never get together again. You might not want to mess with Ra or break those rules. Moving on conceptually. But when he resurrected, he became the high God. And the dates of his death and resurrection, what are they? They are the same as those of, you ready? Haru, and later, Jesus too. So again, I keep trying to explain to you, I don't have a problem with your religious views and concepts. Just don't tell me that it's all that when I know it ain't. That's all. Moving on. And those who follow and practice it, I got nothing but respect and love for y'all. Why? I understand it. And thus, what happens? The myth, again, the myths are synchronized because different cultures pass down different philosophies and concepts. Sometimes the name changes, but it's the same story. And it's synchronized as to what? The teachings that's concerning the resurrection of what? The soul, not the body. The soul resurrects, and the passion and death is only, listen, death to the physical body is only a hint of what they call the rebirth, which will what? Will occur for all those who get reincarnated because of ignorance and not knowing themselves at the time of death. Exactly 9 months later, you're going to be reborn. Boy, I love this. I can make it make sense. I ain't trying to force it on you. I'm just trying to show you. It's all right there. That's what I do for you. Break it down and give it to you right here. I'm wrapping it up for you. And 9 months later, a new person is born. New identity. New everything. But the spirit is the same. You see where I'm going with this? Let me take it home now. I'm taking it home. In mystical terms, the passion play is referring to what? The ordinary, unenlightened state of human beings. Ignorant ones. The ignorant who don't know themselves. They're doomed to be reincarnated. They got your plan already, okay? Who are what? State of human consciousness, which is led to be what? Repeated reincarnations, only to what? Experience what? Countless births and deaths, which include untold suffering due to ignorance and constant pain. The true aim, of my right thinking philosophy of the mystery that we practice is for the initiate you to what? Assume your original and your true role of the what? Victorious one, the divinity, and to realize that you, he or she, in reality, are the high divinity. Are one. And thereby what? You reaching self-knowledge, knowledge of self, resurrection, anointment, whatever you want to call it, enlightenment, you are now ending the cycle of what? Your human rebirths due to ignorance and your constant deaths in order to what? To resume your true state of being, which is what? Free from the bonds of nature and ignorance of oneself. That's how you return back to your maker with knowledge of self. That's the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Oh, I'm just getting started. I hope you enjoyed it. But we about to put out a book. I got more books for you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the cow being Pope. I got nothing but more. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all let it be 100. May 100 minus the day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. I'm loving it.